외국인 바이어와 미팅을 진행해야 되는데 어디서부터 어떻게 시작해야 될지 모르시겠다고요? 대학교에서 영어 발표를 해야 되는데 말이 안 나오신다고요? 저와 함께라면 영어 발표, 영어 프레젠테이션 문제 없습니다. 제가 누구냐고요? 저는 2013 한국 토스트마스터스 전국 연설 대회 우승자 엔젤레스오입니다. 한번 영상으로 만나보시죠.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. My name is Engellex. As you can see from tonight's speeches, one of the most common form of speeches in Toastmasters, especially during competition, is an inspirational speech. However, over time I came to realize that people are becoming more disinterested about inspirational speeches. I believe that one of the reasons for that is it's because it's always the same old message. Like, find your dream, be yourself, find your way. It's always about do this or do that. But rarely is it about how. How do we find our dream? How do we be ourselves? How do we find our own way? It's how that's more important. And people take these old messages, they add their own little story to it, and they think that it's a new message. It's a whole new thing. Well, I'm not saying the stories are bad. The stories may be interesting and fun. But what do the audience take home? When they go home, they think back at the speeches. All they can remember is a story and a same old message. And then they ask, how am I supposed to do that? So today, I'm going to take a same old cliche message that I heard throughout my whole life. I'm going to add my story to it, but I'm going to tell you how. Every day, my grandparents and my parents would come up to me and say, Angelus, overcome your weakness. You can overcome your weakness. And then I asked, how? And you know what they said? Well, son, do your best. And then they followed by saying, find your dream, be yourself, find your way. It wasn't helpful, it wasn't inspirational. I was in middle school and I knew that already. So then, how are we supposed to overcome our weakness? I'll give you 3 steps. First, accept and analyze your weakness. Second, come up with a practical way to compensate for your weakness. And third, be confident. The very first step in overcoming your weakness is by accepting the fact that you are weak. But so many people today are trying to hide their weakness, they're trying to cover their weakness, they're trying to deny the fact that they're weak. And that's why they constantly remain the arrogant self that they are. If you want to overcome your weakness, first admit it. Thankfully for me, I have no choice but to accept the fact that I am weak. As you can all see, my greatest weakness is my handsome looking face. So there we go. Of course, there is my second great weakness, which are my legs, which are also hard to cover. And because of my weaknesses, I have realized, and in my teenage years, because of my weakness, it was very hard to make friends. Because number one, people didn't like to hang out with handsome-looking people. And number two, it turns out that the way I walk made people uncomfortable. And they had their own stereotypes about me. It was very difficult for me to make friends, or even avoid bullying. But you know what? Don't agonize about your weakness, analyze it. That's what I did. I sat down in my room, I wrote down like Jennifer said I should, about my weakness. Well, the way I walked made people uncomfortable. And back then I had these huge glasses that told everybody that I was a dork. And also these cheesy clothes that told everybody that I was a geek. And I had a frown in my face all the time Because back then, looking tough is the cool thing to do. And so nobody wanted to be friends with me. And I analyzed the other people. What did the people want? People liked someone who was funny, who was interesting, and who had a mysterious special thing.
Mysterious.
So that was my analysis. Then, to the second step, come up with a practical solution. Well, after considering all these analysis data, I came to the conclusion that I should learn how to do magic. Why? Well, because magic is interesting and entertaining for everybody, and also it made the magician look very special and mysterious. So it took me a long time to practice some magic, and I don't do things like pull my finger or pick a card. What I do was, I take a card in my hand, and then I get a balloon, like this. I'll come to the center so that everybody can see. And then I go to my friend and I say, watch. And I rub. And I rub. And obviously I succeeded in making friends. I can see that many of you want to be my friends as well. We'll get on to that later. I'm not saying that everyone should learn magic. I'm saying that you should come up with a practical way, whether it's learning a skill, whether it's a practical way to change your personality, a practical way to change your thought. It starts from a small thing. It brought, not only compensated for my weakness, but it brought me great other strength, like showmanship and impromptu speaking. Lastly, be confident. Well, that's a simple thing to say, be confident. Again, how? How can we be confident? We can be confident when we believe in something. But then what can you believe in? Believe in the effort that you have put into yourself. Are you not confident right now? Maybe it's because you know deep inside that you didn't put in enough effort to be confident about it. I stand here because I work out 2 hours every day, and I practice at least 20 times for this speech. And that's how I know I can be confident. I work out so that I don't fall down, so that I can stand tall. And I am here, and I am confident. And my confidence is what affects you. Thank you very much.
어떠셨나요? 저와 함께라면 여러분들도 전문가가 될 수 있습니다. 이 강의를 통해서 프레젠테이션의 기본적인 구조와 문장 패턴을 배움으로써 여러분들이 프레젠테이션에 있어서 기본적인 기초를 다질 수 있습니다. Through this lecture, I know for certain that you will all become experts. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.